Hunk is a 1987 Faustian comedy about someone who gets to be the ultimate 80s man and learns that it's not all it's cracked up to be. Written and directed by Lawrence Bassov, Hunk stars John Allen Nelson, Steve Levitt, Deborah Shelton, and James Coco. In a software company in the Valley, Bradley is a computer programmer who yearns to be the apex personality of the 1980s, a yuppie. He's so frustrated that he types, "I'd sell my soul," into his computer, and the computer instantly prints out the most successful software program of his career, allowing him to invest in some beachfront property. Once there, he meets O'Brien, field agent for Hell Incorporated. She's in a bind, running way behind, and willing to make a deal. O'Brien offers Bradley the chance to try out a new body and face for the summer, and if he likes it, it will only cost him his soul. The next morning, he's Hunk Golden, face of an Adonis, body of a superhero. He's the hottest thing in town. But as the world around him changes, he starts to change too. Will he cancel the deal by Labor Day? Will the devil give him a chance? At the time of Hunk's release, drive-ins were on the decline, while the big studio blockbusters were crowding everything else out of the multiplexes. The previous year, Crown had delivered My Chauffeur, another film using their proven Merrimark production formula, and that film tanked. Lawrence Bassov had previously directed Weekend Pass, which was a success for Crown. Purportedly, Crown gave him a budget, a title, and told him to turn it into a movie. Bassov wrote a spin on the Dr. Faustus tale, first popularized for the stage by Christopher Marlowe, and again by William Goethe. Cinema would visit this deal with the devil parable many times, in dramas, horror films, and notably in comedies. Hunk is a cute comedy, more amusing than funny. My personal laugh-out-loud moment was the autograph collector that shows up at minute 71. Both sides of the lead characters, Steve Levitt as Bradley Brinkman, John Allen Nelson as Hunk Golden, are likable enough to make the film work. As this dip in this particular sub-genre goes, it's somewhere between 1981's The Devil and Max Devlin and 1992's Stay Tuned, maybe on par with 1984's Oh God, You Devil. But that's the real problem. Hunk was a lower budget version of the same kind of movies that the big studios were bringing out. If Crown had made Hunk 10 years prior, it would have been an R-rated film, a more subtle version of The Devil and Miss Jones, maybe. Instead, Hunk is a rare PG movie for Crown. PG-rated violence, PG-rated sex. Hunk Golden's providing the majority of the cleavage in the film, and if that's what you want to see, be sure to watch the transformation scene starting at the 30-minute mark. That is as close as Hunk gets to being an exploitation film, which is to say, it's not enough of an exploitation film. It's not exploring any territory that the majors weren't already in. Beyond the poverty row aesthetic, Hunk could have been made by any movie studio, or any TV studio. Hunk was Crown trying to make something for the multiplex audience. It didn't work. Hunk had an anemic box office performance and confirmed a decline for Merrimark Productions. Let's talk about the stars. James Coco plays the devil, Dr. D. Coco was a celebrated comedian in film and even more on the Broadway stage. He may be the definitive Sancho Panza in 1972's Man of La Mancha. The 1982 comedy Only When I Laugh gave Coco the distinction of being the only actor to be nominated for both an Oscar and the Razzie for the same role. Deborah Shelton won the Miss USA crown and runner-up for Miss Universe in 1970. By the mid-80s, she was an established actress, most known for her recurring appearances on Dallas. John Nelson Allen had just completed a 3-year run on the daytime soap Santa Barbara when he was cast as Hunk Golden. He's continued to work steadily in television for the succeeding decades. MST3K fans may remember him from the fantasy film Deathstalker and the Warriors of Hell. Steve Levitt was a Juilliard graduate who appeared in both the film and TV versions of The Paper Chase. 80s comic book fans may remember him for playing Donald Blake, the human bonded with the superhero Thor, in the 1988 TV movie The Incredible Hulk Returns. In the 90s, Levitt would pivot from acting to writing and directing, writing the script for 1999's At First Sight. In a 2018 interview on the podcast Second Acts, Levitt noted that he had set aside the Hollywood grind to work as a Buddhist chaplain. Crown film watchers may recognize Bradley's boss, Avery Schreiber, as the space captain from Galaxina. The snooty LA rich girl is being played by Hilary Shepard, who played a snobby LA transplant in Weekend Pass. And not to suggest they're in the same cinematic universe, but the beachfront house that Bradley moves into was once the party house in the 1982 Crown film, The Beach Girls. The internet's already noted that Hunk had Brad Pitt's first on-screen appearance, uncredited background, at around minute 17. And Hunk's art director was Catherine Hardwicke, who in the next decade would move into the film director's chair, receiving notice for her tales with genuine teenage voices in all sorts of situations. Hunk doesn't belong in the grindhouse, but it's safe for afternoon TV. It's a goofy, guilt-free comedy, cartoonish fun, on par with the other Faustian comedies that came out in the decade. Save it for your 80s night. Or just watch it when you're in the mood for something cheesy.